As it said in Bodhisattva that to obtain the precious human life with all the assets and ease is very difficult to find. So therefore, if you don't do something useful, then you may not get it afterwards. According to the science, this Earth is the only planet, according to science, where all the positive environment or facilities are there, where people can actually live. So therefore, to have a living kind of to have a living space, or all the conditions that a living being can live, is very difficult to find. Maybe some disturbance. As already expressed, there is a special quality of that we human beings have a special quality that other animals or other beings doesn't have, and that is that we can distinguish what is right from wrong. And many of these species of living beings have become extinct on this earth, and whatever is remaining there, among them, the human being is one of the most kind of intelligent being. It's one way it's very intelligent, but another is that a being has some kind of a moral understanding. We have this capacity to have ethics or moral because we know what actions are positive and what actions are negative. What will bring, it's not just like what is gained now and what is lost now, but we can also think what would be beneficial in the long run and not beneficial in the long run. So therefore, because we have this capacity to understand what is good and not good now and in the long run, so that kind of capacity so far we have not used very well. So we only look with our eyes very big, what is good for me at this very moment, but we don't look very much what would be good for us and what would be good for most of the people in the long run. That kind of understanding, although we have this capacity to think and to have a bigger vision, we have not been able to use it in a proper way. That's why, on top of that, and on top of that, for my own benefit or my own kind of community, then we kind of treat other persons or other groups in a very bad way, and through that way we have created lots of losses, lots of damage to the world, to the people, to the beings. In this way, because of the humans' activities, so many people lose their life, so many beings are killed, so many beings become extinct. And in the same way, if we look at the environment, all these problems of environment is also because of human beings. Because of the mistakes we human beings have made. In one way, there is lots of development of technology and material kind of advancement. Therefore, it is easy to communicate, easy to travel, and there are lots of things easier to do. But if you look from another side, this state of this world, or the state of our world, when we say degenerate time, there is some kind of way to understand this. So all our kind of essential or the natural way of doing things or being is lost, and all this kind of artificial and something that is kind of made up remain. Maybe I should not say much, but all our human beings, we human beings, we have arrived at a time when we really have to think deeply. So when we said that all of us, we have all the kind of ease and assets, means that we have this environment and facilities, right kind of conditions to practice Dharma in the right way, or to try to do something that's positive for us and others. So these, not only to practice Dharma, but to, when we have these right conditions, then we have to use this great intelligence and great kind of capacity to understand and to act. When we have this capacity, then we must use this capacity and do something that is good or helpful for us and beneficial to others. And if we can do that, then this precious human being or precious human life becomes something fruitful and useful. And usually I say this. This is what I usually think and I say. When we talk about life, our life, it's only not just this kind of body. It's it's like a web of. It's something that's very, it's a net. It's a internet. It's interconnectedness. It's like so whether the life becomes useful or purposeful or not, that depends on what kind of relationship and what to see this relationship among ourselves, and by understanding that, then to use our mind or the thoughts and actions in such a way that will be useful for all. Instead of doing that, if only think about my own kind of benefit or my own kind of good well-being, then nothing happens. That because we didn't understand what my life meant. When we say my life, it's not just me or my own body, but it is a network of all the people, interdependent. So therefore that's very important to have this understanding as the basis of then to continue. When I was talking about the Devachen or Sukhavati's kind of, I thought that some people were getting bored. I thought that some people were getting bored. Then I asked some people also. Some people says it's useful. First, I don't know how to explain very good, very nice way. And on top of that, because I have to read, then maybe it is not impossible that you get a little bored. So today, I will stop teaching about the Amitabha's. And tomorrow I'll talk about Akshobhya. The third is how do we create conditions that I will be born in Devachen, and another is what can I do to create conditions for others to be born into Devachen. What can I do so that other people can be born into Devachen? These two things. The first, how to create conditions that I will be born into Devachen. So if I don't explain too much but give the gist, generally to say generally, if you say generally, it is said in the Sutra of Amitabha, if anybody hears my name and then made a prayer or the aspiration to be born into the Sukhavati, then unless that person has created the 5 heinous deeds or something like that, then if they are not born, then I will not be enlightened. So he says here that if somebody heard the name of Amitabha Buddha and then really aspired to be born into Devachen, unless you commit the 5 most heinous deeds, or you have kind of give up Dharma, then if they are somebody who is trying to practice positive deeds, then they will be I will make it possible that they will be born into Devachen. If they are not born into Devachen, then I will not be enlightened. That's the kind of dedication. That was the dedication made by Amitabha. Because of that, first we have to aspire to be born into Devachen. Then we kind of focus our mind on Devachen. So we remember, we think about Devachen, and our mind is occupied by Devachen. Then we actually create positive deeds. We accumulate positive deeds. And then every positive deed that we accumulate, we dedicate it to be born into Devachan. So this is said in this is a quotation from Amitabha Sutra. It said, if Buddha says to Shariputra that if somebody kind of concentrates on the Devachan for 1 day, 2 day, 3 day, 4 day, 5 day, 6 day, 7 day, then if that person dies, then they will necessarily be born into Devachan. So therefore you must pray to be born into Devachan. This is the quotation. So here it is said, Sepame or the Amitayus, if you have heard the name of Sepame and from one night till 7 days, or from 1 day to 7 days, you kind of think about Amitabha, and then you make prayers to be born or aspire to be born into Devachan. If you do these two things, this is the conditions or the causes to be born into Devachan. This is how it is said in the Amitabha Sutra. And again in the Sutra, another quotation. And they said that you need to have aspiration, and also you have to accumulate positive deeds. And then and this is another Shimengada, the drums of deathlessness. That's the sutra name. This is a quotation from there. So this is said in the same way. Shimengada, or the drums of the deathlessness. It says same thing, the same four conditions or causes to be born into Devachan. Again, a quotation from these are quotations from these two sutras. Same, exactly same. If you kind of recite the name of the Amitayus, also you will be reborn or born into the Devachan or Sukhavati. There are two causes, two conditions. One is cause to be born into Devachan, and another is cause to be born, the complete causes, conditions to be born into Devachan. There are two. The first, the cause of being born is that with the devotion or with a clear mind or with an inspired mind, you recite the name of Amitayus or Naimitaba. That is the just creating a cause. And then the four causes are these are the four causes that we discussed before. So the complete cause, the complete condition is there are many other conditions. So the main understanding of this meaning is to be born into this pure realm. There are many positive qualities of bodhisattvas. The qualities of the followers or the people living in that pure realm. To have all those qualities in ourselves, or a kind of a little bit similar to those qualities that arise in us. But even if you don't truly have all those qualities, you try to kind of create some. So in order to really get the proper or complete causes and conditions, the complete, then we have to try to generate the qualities of all the bodhisattvas there in ourselves. The general one is to recite the name or the mantra of Amitabha or Amitayus. Then, as said before, to do some positive deeds and to have devotion or the aspiration, and then do something positive deeds, and then whatever positive deeds that we dedicate in order to be born into Devachen, and then you think of Devachen, or you focus your mind on Devachen. This four, that is the causes, the general causes to be born into Devachen. And then the special causes to be born into Devachen, the complete causes is, as said before, that all the qualities that the bodhisattvas who are actually in Devachen, those qualities we try to generate in ourselves. That's the special, real kind of causes and conditions to be born into Devachen. So what are the qualities of bodhisattvas? So they have no hatred or anger, they are very diligent, they are never satisfied of hearing or learning more and more. They have, even if they have a kind of ocean of learning, they're never satisfied, and then all their senses are under control and tamed. So these are the qualities of people in Devachen, or the bodhisattvas in Devachen. So we need to try to cultivate those qualities, and that is the way, the real way, or the real complete way to be born into Devachen. And this as what kind of a life form? Any life form, gods, kind of humans, non-humans, all different kind of anybody who has the capacity to kind of transform their mind, or kind of direct their minds towards more positive or virtuous. In Chemengada it is said that anybody, any being who can think about Amitayus or Amitabha, they can create the conditions to be born into Devachen. Yeah. So all those causes that has been described in the sutras, it's not that we just do it once. Only once we do it, and then we don't need to practice other. So we have to practice this again and again. We have to and he says that If we think about the Buddha Amitabha even once, it can create causes, the long-term causes to be born there. In the sutra, we talked about 10 points of generating. So if we generate this bodhicitta 10 times, then also, like it is said, from 1 night to 7 nights, the whole night, from one kind of night to 7 nights, from 1 night, 2 nights, 3 nights, till 7. If our mind is not distracted, but truly focused on Buddha Amitayus, and we have devotion and aspiration, then it could make us born into Devachan. It is said in Shimengada that after 10 days of doing this, in a clean kind of pure place, we put on clean clothes, and then one pointedly we make offerings to Buddha Amitabha or Amitayus for 10 days continuously. Then when we die, at that time of the death, the Buddha Amitabha, together with his Sangha of Sanghas, bhikkhus, then we will actually see Buddha Sakyamuni, Buddha Amitabha, and then we will be born into Devachan. So this, when we say 1 day to 10 days, or 10, 1 day or one time, it is saying that at least we have to do that. When we say from 7 days into 10 days, it's kind of a proper way of creating the right conditions, the 7 days, 10 days. And to create all these conditions, right conditions and causes, when we create the positive deeds, it should not be just ordinary, but a special positive deed. That is that the aspirations made by Amitabha, and the kind of the power of when Amitabha made a special aspiration when we first started to become a bodhisattva, and because of these aspirations, or continually kind of creating this great bodhicitta, and then the purification of this Buddha field happened. So therefore we need to have a strong kind of a devotion or the confidence in the teachings of Buddha Sakyamuni. So therefore it is said a kind of a bad or not so good positive deeds will not make us It is said that just as so whatever positive deeds we do, it's just ordinary positive deeds will make us be born into the samsara, a good samsara, but the special positive deed is that we kind of we pray, we dedicate it, we have this confidence into the wisdom, the power of the wisdom of the Buddha or Buddha Amitabha, with strong confidence in those. And what Buddha Shakyamuni taught in the sutras, which are very kind of a secret, or which is very beyond kind of that we can actually see. So we have a very strong confidence and understanding of that. So if we have that, and then we create positive deeds, then that positive deed becomes a special positive deed, and that special positive deed is going to cause us create the condition to be born into Devachan. Not just doing something positive deed, but that positive deed with a very clear kind of understanding or the confidence in the aspirations or the creation of the purification, purified world by Amitabha, and also in the Buddha Shakyamuni and Bodhisattva Muni's teachings. Undistracted is very important. Just reciting the Buddha's name or mantra, it's not just that. The mind has to be one-pointed and undistracted, and we have to create positive deeds like that. And those kind of positive deeds that we create, which is undistracted and one-pointed, will then create causes and conditions to be born into Devachan. As it is said in other sutras also, that if you do something positive but very distractedly and not one-pointedly, then it cannot have too much effect. So these are the kind of ways to create conditions that myself or an individual to be born into Devachan. Now, what can we do so that we create conditions so that the other people is born into Devachan? Meaning that what can I do for others? It's not for my own gain or my own kind of honor. If you do something, if you practice Dhamma for my own gain and for my own honor, or that's not like that. We should not do that, but we do the practice in order from the depth of our heart, that we do practice of Dhamma so that others become, or others, all others or other beings are born into Devachan. That's one way. We practice Dhamma. All these sutras, all these sutras, the Amitabha's creation, Amitabha Sutra and Chimengaja Sutra, we read it, we recite it, and so that it is heard by other beings. So when we recite the mantras and name of the Buddhas, that we make others to recite mantras or recite names and other. So in order to create the conditions to be born into Devachen, and so we we request, or we try to teach or make people to abide by their positive deeds or positive precepts, or to make them hear the name of Amitabha or Amitabha's sutras, or we the sand or something, some material that which is being blessed with recitation of mantras and sutras, that we spread that on others' body, and we're showing the Buddha's Amitabha's form to others, or we make prayer flags, and that the prayers and prayer, that's touched. All beings are touched by the wind which is blown through the mantras and the forms of Amitabha and Amitabha Sutra. So these are the ways to help other people to create some kind of a causes or conditions to be born into Devachen. There are many things said. The causes to create other beings to be born into Devachen, that we can do what we can do if we want to do something. All those things that has already been said, and if there is a kind of animal or like a bird or pig, these beings cannot recite the name of the Buddha, so we recite the mantra or the name in their ears. That will create causes for them to be born into Devachen. There are many stories like that. There is a story of Ashoka, King Ashoka. In the beginning of his life, he was very, wrathful. He was a wrathful Ashoka, wrathful Ashoka. He even killed his brothers. He even cut off the Bodhi tree. He put later on he met Arhat, and then he changed his mind. He turned his mind towards Dharma, and he became what is called as the Dharma Ashoka. And then this Bodhi tree that he kind of uprooted, or he put molten he put molten kind of iron to kind of to completely dry it. Then later on he put lots of milk there, and so it slowly came back. When he was very sick, there were some nurses. These nurses were kind of using the fan. So one nurse was tired and sleepy, and then the fan kind of fell on the king. So when the king was he thought that he was feeling bad, that even this nurse was falling, throwing fan on him. So because of that anger, he was born as a snake in a tree. So his teacher, the Arhat, knew that he was born as a snake, but the snake was not eating other animals. So the snake went there and said, "The king, be careful." And then the snake put the Arhat put the robe, yellow robe, on the kind of branch of the tree. So the snake went into the yellow robe, and then the Arhat took this robe and then put it in his room, and he was doing prayers and reciting the Buddha's mantras and things like that. And so he was kept there for 7 days, and after 7 days the snake died, and then he was born into Purim. About a month ago I heard something. I don't know whether it's really truth or not, but a human being once, one man wanted to eat frog meat, and he went to the market and he bought some frogs. Then I have seen the photograph of when you kind of skin it, then it's you can easily kind of skin it. When he skinned it, and then he brought these frogs to his home. One frog already died. There are 3 frogs. One frog died. One other frog is skinned but still breathing a little bit. So that frog was looking very big eyes to this lady, and then this person got a little scared, and that person recited the name or the mantra of Amitabha, and slowly the dead frog also kind of went alive, and then they listened to this carefully. And then the other frog listened carefully, and then one died already, and then another kind of recited Amitabha's mantra. also. So this is an incident I read somewhere, or I saw it. I don't know whether it's really happened or not. So how to create causes and conditions to be born into Devachan, all these things I've already described, so maybe it's not necessary to repeat too much. And all of us are aspired to be born into Devachan. In Tibet also it's been there right from the beginning, and in Tibet also it's there for a long time, and also the Korea, Vietnam, Japan, these traditions are there for a long time. And there are many great masters who are very skilled in the practice of this Devachan. So we should be we should also learn those teachings and those practices that the great masters have taught. According to some are kind of strange. Some say that we do only those things and nothing else. We cannot do anything else but this one. That's, I think, mistaken. Some people have very inspired to be born into Devachan, but maybe some others are not necessarily that much inspired to be born into Devachan. So it is, you cannot say that you have to do only this thing and nothing else. Even Buddha Shakyamuni never said that. As I said before, if you really have to create a complete causes and conditions to be born into Devachan, then you have to do all the practices, like study, reflection, meditation, and generation of bodhicitta, and everything, the true kind of bodhisattva's way of life, to the three trainings, all of the three trainings we have to do. Otherwise it's not just this kind of the people are people likes more the easy things. So therefore, sometimes people say that only this you can do and this is the only thing you need to do and you cannot do anything more. That's not right. I think sometimes we make mistake of kind of too much simplifying to say that this is very easy to do and then you cannot do anything more. That's not good. So if our aspiration is only that kind of very small and simple, then it is and that much, it's only like that, or we cannot treat it as something simple or as something kind of we cannot make it as a sect or as a my own tradition. Only this is my kind of thing, my tradition or my way or my sect, my school, and others are not good. These kind of things we have to be very careful about. Generally, Buddha Dharma, generally any Dharma practice we do, it is all causes to be born into Devachan. There is nothing which doesn't become cause to be born into Devachan. Only thing is that whether we are specially inspired or specially praying to be born or not. And so therefore it is very important that to say that only these things that I am doing or my tradition is the way or the conditions to be born into Devachan and others not. This is important to understand. Otherwise, then you create sectarianism. Now, meditation today is the bodhicitta. It's a 3 minutes meditation. Then, if you make it too long, then we don't know whether it's meditation or whether it's sleeping. If I tell you to sleep, maybe you don't sleep. If you don't know how to sleep, then I tell you to meditate. To meditate bodhicitta, first, meditation of compassion is important. Meditation is like a mirror of two sides. If it is turning out, is renunciation, and turning in is compassion. It's like a coin with two sides. The coin. To look out, then it is looking outside. It is renunciation, and looking in is compassion. How to meditate compassion? The Mishu Dorje, the Karmapa Mishu Dorje in Tijatsa, in 100 instructions, there is a very nice instruction on how to meditate on compassion. I'll try to go through this a little bit. As I said before, we have attained the precious human life. The main cause or the main gratitude we have to feel is for our mother, because she is the main cause of our mother. It's just that she gave us this body, so therefore we have to be extremely grateful to her, just because she gave us the body. Our parents created or developed our body, and to make us live, they've gone through lots of difficulties. They've done lots of positive things as well as negative things. And why they did these negative deeds is because of their love to their children and their children's children. All the businesses they've done, all the cultivations of the land, and all kind of deeds they've done is not just for their own livelihood, but to keep their children and grandchildren alive and be well. So when they did all these positive and negative deeds, so it is that they might be born into negative realms next life. Why that happened is because of us, because they were doing those negative things for us, for our benefit. They went through all sorts of hardships. They created lots of negative deeds. So therefore, what they did in all their kind of life, the causes of their negative karma, we have to be responsible in some way. So therefore we have to think about that. We have to be grateful to them. We have to be responsible for their actions. So therefore, when we came into this world, we have nobody, no friends, we have no other protectors, we have nobody. We just arrived totally alone. And then the father and mother gave us protection, guidance, friendship, love. They gave us the refuge, and they not only developed our body, but gave every facilities for us to grow, and so there was no need to do that, but they gave us lots of love, lots of kindness, lots of care. There was no need to do that much, because we never knew them, they never knew us. Because if we meet a stranger on the road, we will not feel like that. We will not do anything for them. It's almost similar. If we meet a kind of poor children, totally without father and mother and things like that, we will not give them food. We will not give them everything, like our parents do. We never do that. Not only day by day, month by month, year by year, to look after and take care is not easy, but our parents did that. And therefore, they took a stranger that they never knew before, and then they became our best friend, and they protector and refuge, and they loved us, and they gave everything that we needed. And something great, something that we have to really feel very, very grateful. So in this is very important to think about. So we have to be very grateful, and to our parents. All our parents have been very kind and nice to us. So in the same way, all the sentient beings are also like that, like our parents. When we talk about parents, there are many different types of parents. The parents who gave us the body, the parents who have been kind to us, our parents gave us life and created, our life, but other beings on the earth also gave us conditions that we keep on living. If we eat food, it comes in a package. Food comes in a package. So we don't know who did those things. We never heard their name, but some people cultivated this food, some people cooked this food, some people packaged them, and then that we can immediately, it's prepared for us to enjoy that. It is made by so many people that we don't know, strangers, so therefore many people are like our father and mother, became causes of our survival. So in this way, everybody, all the sentient beings have been very kind. But generally, to be able to feel gratitude is a very important thing. So when we feel compassion, when we feel kindness, when we feel grateful, then we can become satisfied, we become, contented, we feel happy and joyful. If there is, so if I feel gratefulness, if I feel gratefulness, then it's so nice, it's so fortunate, it is so great, it's so without any much causes, I always feel positive and I feel good. So the feeling gratefulness is something extremely important for us. It's very beneficial for ourselves to feel gratitude. And the compassion is actually feeling the gratitude and gratefulness to all the sentient beings. All those great beings who are in samsara, who have lots of sufferings and problems. And so then when we really see that situation, then we feel unbearably compassion, unbearably sad, and unbearably kind of inspired for them to be freed from their sufferings. We really want to do something myself to free them from suffering. So when you have that kind of inspiration, I want to free all the beings from the suffering. That is what we have to meditate on today. Maybe we do some prayer or recitation and then start to meditate. So we, whatever I say, it doesn't have much power, but the great master of the past, their words have blessings and power. So we will. So the prayer I will talk in front of us. All the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas like Amitabha and Avalokiteshvara and all this. And then we said that all the positive deeds that we've done in 3 times, all the positive deeds of the past, of the present, of the future, even the future positive deeds we can dedicate now. What is said? All the positive deeds that we have done or will be doing, we offer it to the Buddhas. And because we offer them to the Buddhas, therefore the Buddha Dhamma spread. And because the Buddha Dhamma spreads, so all people are kind of create negative, positive deeds, and that positive deed also we dedicate. When we offer our positive deed to the Buddha, then there are 2 things: that the power of our own positive deeds, creating positive deeds, and then also our positive deed of offering that to the Buddha, and then the result is for spread of Dhamma, that also positive deed, and that also creates lots of positive deeds by many people, that also dedicated for all the sentient beings. And then the positive deeds that come out of these also we dedicate for the benefit of others. So therefore, and then that the positive deeds or positive result coming out of this dedication we also dedicate again. So therefore there is a countless, or there is a kind of endless cycle of positive things coming. So we need to use the dedication in this way, in a kind of unending cycle of dedication.